Hello, fellow warriors against consensus reality, lovers of truth, wisdom, the esoteric path, lovers of sarcasm and irreverence. It's a nice quiet Monday morning. There are no normies or Karens anywhere to be seen or heard. Fantastic. And it's a very conducive day for a very enjoyable cafe session, which is exactly what I'll be doing in a couple of hours. But I thought I would put out a video before I begin. And this theme which I'm talking about, namely men, masculinity, MGTOW, and the defense and attack thereupon, is something that annoys me. And by golly, by Jove, I will strive to continue to defend these things because very few people are. So, you may have been aware of a certain film. I care so little for it that I don't even remember the name of it. That's apparently out in the cinemas. It's a feminist propaganda. Oh no, he's actually using the words. I know this is why my channel isn't growing, but you know what? I don't fucking care. Effinist or womanist movement. You sound fucking stupid. I forget the name of it. Something darling. I don't know. With Olivia Wilde. You know, the chick that was in House, right? And of course, she's towing the propaganda line and wearing incredibly cringe-worthy t-shirts. And how the fuck a woman ejaculates is beyond me, because women don't have a dick, even though they act as if they do. The way the modern world is absolutely amuses me to no end. Being a monk and a lone wolf and a hermit, I have the perspective too, from my little mountain village up in the mountains, far away from the local village. I can laugh my fucking head off. But I digress. So apparently she put out a propaganda film, and apparently the villain in the film was based on, and this is coming from her own words, on Jordan Peterson. And she called him, of course, the usual names and tropes and concepts that, you know, all of you guys have heard time and time again. What did you call him? The god or king of incels, right? And of course, that right there, oh, shut up, computer. And of course, it's tired, it's worn out, it's what they use, it's the insult they use when they really have nothing else to say. And of course, those who may not be aware, well, see, firstly, this quote-unquote incel word is always used against men becoming aware of the way the dynamic between the sexes in dating and relationships and so forth, and how an increasing number of men are choosing to not engage, seeing as, especially not engaging in marriage, seeing as how the system is so far stacked against men today that it's just, if it was any other group of people, it would have been outlawed years ago. But of course, as I keep saying, this is all part of a concerted agenda to destroy the important foundation of society and make people fight amongst each other and do whatever they want to do because they're greedy, psychotic, sociopathic cunts. And of course, let's create a scamdemic and make people believe that taking a juice jab is the way to go and you're going to be protected, even though it's the the juiced people that are actually the ones getting sick and dropping dead for no fucking good reason. But that's a whole different story. And of course I won't talk about Robert Malone and Peter McCulloch, the two guys who actually fucking invented the mRNA technology and all the rest of that. I won't go into that crap. And how they've been censored and hounded by the propaganda machine for speaking the truth in their fields. But hey, that's a whole different story. I won't talk about that today. But see, it's this, what I'm talking about, it's a common thing through many of my videos, this concerted agenda. They don't, first of all, let me preface by saying they don't care about women. They don't care about black people or trans or gay or any alphabet people. They don't give a fuck about you. They're not doing all this for women or all the above mentioned people. They don't give a flying fuck. They consider us as resource guzzling numbers, right? The unwashed masses, the clueless, stupid plebs who are easily swayed and told and do what they're told. And unfortunately, that describes most of humanity at the moment. Of course, there are the mavericks and the rebels and people who actually use their fucking brains. But hey, we're too busy doing our own little thing, cocooning ourselves in our own little world and really not giving a fuck about what the greater society does or thinks, except to take the piss out of it and perhaps get people to think twice in the process, right? But for a while now, there has been a movement of men who have been sick and tired of all this bullshit, and the way... See, modern women, they are the most easily manipulated group of people in the world. It's incredible. They actually believed the crap they were brainwashed with during the 60s and 70s, namely the feminist agenda. They actually thought it was about women being empowered, even though beforehand women had the key role in a household. They were the ones keeping the family together. They were the ones keeping the household running. They were the ones doing the all-important job of raising a new generation of people, influencing people, influencing a new generation of people. But no, that's all been attacked. And women who actually, those wonderful women who still want to follow those old ways, they're attacked more than men are, if you notice. Because, riddle me this, alright? These, they, quote unquote, they, yes I know, it's a convenient blanket word to use. They, right, have fooled women into, first of all, hating men. Yes, misandry is an increasing problem today. And of course, the whole propaganda machine known as the mainstream media is fueling it and celebrating it and rewarding it. And they, first of all, hate men, but on the other hand, they want to be as masculine as possible in their look, their behavior, and their direction in life. Make that make sense for me, please. And in the process, because men are an increasing number of men, may the gods bless you. Fuck, you're awesome. I realised, hang on a minute, we're supposed to be doing this and this and this, and this long list of entitlement requirements from many, sadly most modern women these days, who only look at men as ATMs and resources on legs. And yes, there are still women, really caring, loving women. They are very, very few and far between. And if you happen to find one, you're fucking lucky, right? Because most women today are not that way. And that really sucks. That really does make me sad, because as a child, I remember what people used to be like. But hey, that's a whole different thing. But an increasing number of men are realizing, you know what? I don't want this anymore. It's just worth too much. I could lose too much, and it's true. Especially if you choose to get married today, and you have money and resources and house and all the rest of that. When you've got nothing to lose, right? But of course, if you've got nothing, resource-wise, 9.5 times out of 10, women won't even look twice in your direction, unless they are, like I said, one of those very, very rare types that still exist, but they're very few and far between. Now, this, of course, has many disenfranchised men have all had that similar light bulb moment, and of course we now call the gathering of such men the MGTOW movement. Of course, that's been now overtaken by PUAs, namely, i.e. pickup artists, who only focus on pussy and making themselves the best they can be for the ultimate goal of pussy, right? So, which makes them the most hypocritical pussy beggars I've ever come across in my life, which makes me hate them more than I do feminists, right? Because I don't care about women as getting to know a fellow human being. No, but they pretend to be interested in them and be friendly and everything to get in their pants, which is really fucking stupid and pathetic. But hey, that's a whole different other video. But, so these group of men who realizing, you know what, I live alone now. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have a real life girlfriend, whatever, living in the same place, or married or whatever. And I'm actually enjoying peace of mind. These guys may have been burnt in the past by failed relationships, and hey, let's be honest, which guy hasn't these days at one point, right? I mean, my own case, I remember being dumped on the day after my birthday, so that was a doozy, right? But of course, that turned out to be hindsight is a wonderful thing. That turned out to be the catalyst of transforming the lead into gold. And you know what? Without it, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. So everything traumatic and horrible has an ultimate benefit, which, if you allow it, and of course that would take a more esoteric perspective, which is what I have a problem with a lot of these materialists, which of course they are a relic of the Industrial Revolution, namely people like Richard Dogma Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens and all the rest of these people, focusing only on the 5 sense world, which of course is only one part of a more wider, broader reality. But hey, that's a whole different other thing. But it allows people to be shackled by a limited perspective, right? And men these days, an increasing number of men are realizing that, you know what, they want to better themselves for themselves, because they want to be a better man today than they were yesterday. They want to enjoy things, they want to enjoy achieving things and doing things for the simple sake of the great sense of satisfaction that it creates within us when we do. And that's a wonderful thing. Unfortunately, you will come across many people. I just saw a video before this video which gave me the idea for my video. How there are, what's a channel called? Manhood, I think. And yeah, all very fine and good. Yes, I'm going to name channels today. All very fun and good, until he sort of seemed to poo-poo the idea of men who read. Which is a real fucking problem, because I'm a total bookworm and I've got piles of books everywhere, so fuck you, right? Apparently it's not masculine unless you're in the gym pumping iron, which is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. My ancient ancestors had the right holistic approach to things. Right? If you take Athens and you take Sparta and you mash them together, that's the ideal. But you've got channels like, what's the other one? Tribe of Men. Bo, I think his name is. Yeah, you know, good in and of itself. However, again, it's more that. It's more make yourself better, make money, get a six-pack, have good, nice clothes and everything, and a really interesting hairstyle and wearing sunglasses inside. And go overseas and get a woman from the third world shitholes who has no concept of your own cultural references and will be like marrying an alien. So go nuts, right? Yeah, go to Asia for a wife, right? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. So yeah, it's unfortunate because a lot of these people are chameleon PUAs. And they really don't give a fuck about helping men for the sake of helping men, but they usually have an underlying reason. You'll notice them by how expensive their YouTube channel is, right? And of course, you have fake life coaches, I've mentioned this guy before, who continue to shame men and say, oh, those MGTOW guys who are angry and bitter and they're incels, they can't get pussy, so they're angry and whatever. No, it's called choosing to go your own way, you stupid fuck. Incel is involuntary celibate, guys who desperately want a relationship and the world will end if they don't have one, but for whatever reason they are unable to go through the usual song and dance of the dating and mating rituals that I find so fucking stupid today. Right? There's a huge difference. But of course, men are expendable these days, it seems, and the butt of many horrifically condescending, vilifying jokes. And it's fine. One ex-friend even said to... he wished I was genocided by the Turks also. But of course, because this person used to be pretending to be a woman named Nadia, he can fucking basically kill somebody and Facebook won't do anything. Yes, that's the kind of world we're living in. But, I mean, you know, with Jordan Peterson, there's a lot of things he says that I don't agree with. But hey, you're not going to agree with everyone on everything. But for the most part, he does try to help men because, well, no one else is. And there's this other woman who also is an advocate for men today. I forget what her name is, but she's long black hair. I've seen her in videos a couple of times. You know, people, victims of domestic abuse, male victims of domestic and sexual abuse are ignored. There are no centres and services for those men, and that's a fucking crime, because it's the idea. Even now, you talk to a group of typical normies and you mention a guy who is being physically abused by his girlfriend or wife, and oh, he's a guy, he can take it. Right? No, a person shouldn't have to take it, no matter who you are, no matter what you have between your legs. Domestic abuse is wrong to the extreme of expression. No matter who you are, no matter who it is. But hey, that's a world we're living in. And the point for many of you guys is to actually make yourself better for the simple satisfaction of doing it for yourself, for showing real care and love for yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. You need, yeah, I know, it's a tight old concept, but it's true nonetheless, that no one will like or love you if you don't like or love yourself first. And that's true. And that's the way it is. So I think I'll leave it there. Otherwise I'll be here for another fucking hour going through the ins and outs of all this stuff that I unpacked. Which I might do at one point. But I will always be here to point out the bullshit and the hypocrisy and be the lone voice, continue to speak the truth, even though my channel goes nowhere and won't get the traction, because for whatever reason, no matter which channel I use, YouTube ends up doing their silly little games, shadow banning and all the other passive aggressive shit that they do. But hey, as long as one or two people get something out of it, my job is done. But yeah, as always, to speak the truth, it's a very lonely path. And yes, I am going to go to my cafe and read a book. Oh no, shock horror, right? I'm going to use the other head first. PUAs, right? And probably have a nice chat with that friendly female Asian barista, right? The heathen hammer wielding, irreverent lone wolf on guitar. Out.